Hello, God bless you all on this Saturday. What I'm about to present to you is greatness. It's absolutely remarkable, and I really hope it opens your eyes. If you've been watching my work for a while, 3 years, I've said Arsenal connect to war. Arsenal, Gunners, Cannonball. I've given you all the codes about Arteta, how Arsenal connect to the Queen, how they're the only team to ever have tea with Queen Elizabeth in Buckingham Palace. Told you how Arteta was born 7,109 days before 9/11, and 7,109 is the 911th prime number. How Arsenal connect to 9/11, that's why they play at the Emirates Stadium. Okay, an airline, we're told planes were responsible for 9/11. So I'm going to present some information here that is jaw-dropping. Also, I have set up a new channel which is specifically for content about the Word of God. So I'd really appreciate it if you sub to that, only if you're interested in the Word of God. Okay, this channel is going to be completely dedicated to sports, Hollywood, and exposing the deception of the world and symbolism. What I used to do relentlessly. The other channel is for me to promote the Word of God. If you're not into that, you don't have to subscribe. But I believe that channel is more important. I believe this channel will entertain you and blow your mind. The other one can lead you to eternal life. So, Chris, God bless you. Deception, how you doing? May the 4th be with you. Yeah, we'll discuss that here. And God bless you, Esteban. Thank you, Kathy, for subscribing. God bless you, Liam. Pun-loving criminal. Barcelona won the Champions League in 1992. Okay, you sound sick. I've just woken up. I don't feel sick. I don't feel great, but I don't feel sick either. Right. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to go through the Arsenal code, and then I'm going to show you why they won 3-0. I'm going to show you why Declan Rice and Trossard scored. I want to give a huge shout out to Rico33 on my website. Guys, my website is incredible for $10. For what you get, it can impact your life in so many ways. So many ways. All right. If you're not there, I question why you're not there. So Rico33 on my website today, he coded Trossard to score and Declan Rice. And they both scored. Okay. I'm going to tell you why Declan Rice made it 3-0 in the stream, because it's just out of this world. It connects to the boy who was just killed by a sword, who was an Arsenal fan, and his name was Daniel. And the book of Daniel is about the apocalypse. Okay? The book of Daniel is about the apocalypse. But I'll read out my code that I did yesterday for Arsenal, and then we'll take it from there, all right? So, as usual, please hit the like button. Let's try and get me to around 100 for this one. And I'm going to be getting Chad on my stream today because he did this code for Arsenal to win as well. And he coded Saka to score in connection to that kid who was killed by a sword. And it connects to Star Wars. So, TJ Baker, brother, don't worry about my hair. Worry about your eternal life. Worry about the truth, okay? Worry about seeing through the deception of Satan's world, okay? Don't worry about my hair. When I style my hair, it's pretty good. I've just woken up, bro. I like to wear hats, okay? If you don't like that, you can leave. So this is the Arsenal code that I did. I said I will ride Arsenal whilst they're on 5 draws and 5 losses, and I'm sticking with that. Since I said that, they've been winning all their games. Arsenal connect to war, and Russia invaded the Ukraine on the 55th day of 2022. You need to check out my code about Zinchenko, why he signed for Arsenal in connection with that, who's Ukrainian. Satan, of course, equals 55 in gematria. When you look at the SS symbol, it looks like 55, which connects to Nazi Germany. Today was a span of 5 weeks and 5 days after Arteta's birthday, so another 55. 55 is the 10th Fibonacci triangular number. Arsenal can stay on 10 losses in all competitions. Satan equals 10, because it's all satanic. I've shown you that. Arsenal heavily connect to Queen Elizabeth II, and they can get their 26th league win. And Queen equals 26, as I've shown you all of this. She was born in 26. She became the Queen on February the 6th, 26. She died 2 months and 6 days before King Charles III's birthday, who was her eldest son, who became the king. All right, who's the current king? King Charles III. We know Manchester City won the treble on Prince Philip's 102nd birthday, who was the father of King Charles. Okay, Cole Palmer, who his birthday was on the same date King Charles III was coronated, which is why Cole Palmer's doing so well. I've shown you that. I've done my video on that as well if you want to watch it. Okay. Channel. Listen to what I'm about to say to you before you leave those comments. Durrell, thank you so much. Hit that like for Adam. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you can do that, guys. It says I've got 11 likes, 17 watching. My snooker code just hit. It finished 11-17. I'll reveal that in a separate stream. Wilson just got to the final. Okay. At one point, the score was 11-14. King Charles's birthday. All connected. All connected. All right. So thank you for that, Durrell. I hope you're well, my brother. So all those 26s, it was 10th against first. All right. Bournemouth, Arsenal, 10th against first. 101. Queen Elizabeth's mother died at age 101. 101's the 26th prime. It's why Messi won the World Cup final 101 days after the Queen died in what was his 26th World Cup game, which is a record. This next bit was so clean. Arsenal can become 13-2-1 versus Bournemouth, like 1,321. 1,321 is the 216th prime number. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So it's a satanic number with the connections. The teams last met 149 days ago. Bournemouth can get their 14th league loss and stay on 9 draws, like 149. The teams last met at the Emirates on 3-4, March the 4th. And Bournemouth can stay on 13 wins and 9 draws, and 139 is the 34th prime number. And 34 connects to Arsenal because Arsenal FC equals 34. Arteta's 169th Premier League game. That's 13 times 13. Arsenal get their 13th win all time versus Bournemouth. Who closed the scoring? Number 41. How does that connect to 13? 41's the 13th prime number. All right, what's up? What's up, Johnny G? Guys, I'm telling you, what you're gonna hear in this live stream, whether you like it or not, is greatness. I'm one of the best there is at doing this. That's just the reality, and I'm gonna start telling you a little bit more because you need to start acknowledging this a little bit more. Okay, what I'm gonna show you here. Think about that Liverpool code when they won 9-0, right after the 9-year-old girl was shot, and then Elliot is doing the gun celebration with Carvalho a week afterwards. Come on. And then Celtic win 9-0, and Celtic are affiliated with Liverpool. They both have You'll Never Walk Alone. You know the connections, Brendan Rodgers, Kenny Dalglish, Van Dijk. All right, the list goes on. It's all connected. And it's absolutely remarkable that more people can't see this. But thankfully I can, and thankfully everyone on my website can see it. So God bless you all. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to break down something for you, and then I'm going to get Chad on the live stream. A lot of you can keep dismissing this and denying this and do it as much as you want, but you're denying the truth here. All right? That's what you're doing. You're denying this coded reality that we live in. So I'm going to read this out, then I'm going to get Chad on, okay? Arsenal pay tribute to Gunners fan Daniel Anjorin after the 14-year-old was murdered in a sword attack in East London, with fans taking part in a minute's applause at the Emirates. So number one, how many sword attacks do you get? Jesus Christ is going to come back with a sword. Tell me how many sword attacks you hear of in the news. Can somebody give me a woo? What about me saying Foden's going to have the season of his life and now he's doing the gun celebration? Number 47, as the US is going to vote in its 47th US president. Okay. Super Bowl 58 finished with 47 points, exactly 47 months after COVID was declared a global pandemic, exactly 47 weeks after the Chiefs coach's birthday, and it was on 2/11, the Super Bowl, the 47th prime. So we got some woos there. We got some woos. So again, sword attacks. Sword attacks. When did that become a thing? Jesus said in Matthew, all right, he's coming to bring a sword. All right? And it says, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. So I've gone through this with you before. Guys, a sword attack. We hear a lot in London of people being stabbed. There's a lot of stabbings in London. All right? But to be stabbed by a sword? Well, listen to this. By the way, who's Arsenal's goalkeeper right now? Which nobody could understood. Arsenal's goalkeeper's Raya, yeah? Raya for Arsenal. Well, he was born on 15/9 and 9/11 ended, okay, at 9:37 a.m., the 159th prime. So Raya's come in, the Spaniard, is number 22, okay, number 22. And the 22, by the way, that connects to my Ipswich code, who got promoted to the Premier League, returned, first time in 22 years. But the 22 connects to the death of Daniel. Okay? It says there was a 22-minute rampage with this sword attack. Now, Raya's number 22. I always tell you there's 22 chapters in the book of Revelation. Well, guess what happened today? Arsenal won 3-0. By the way, this kid was murdered on the 30th day of April. 3-0. All right? I'll get to that in a moment. Raya just won the Golden Glove Award. The Golden Glove Award is awarded to the goalkeeper who's kept the most clean sheets during the season. Number 22 wins it. Number 22 wins it. And do you know who he replaced, guys? Give him a like, guys. 24 watching only. It's comical. Guys, if there's 25 watching, can you please hit the like if you want me to keep doing this? I said this to my brother Abid yesterday. I don't need YouTube. You guys need to listen to me more than I need to present this work. I don't need YouTube. That's the reality. I also don't need to be doing this right now on my Saturday morning at whatever time it is at 8:18. I don't have to do it. I do it because there's very few people in the world that can do it. That's honestly because I care about the truth, and next to nobody can do what I do. I don't need YouTube. All right. So the least you can do is hit the like if you want to hear me talk for hours for nothing. That's all I'm asking. Hit a like button. You can't do that, then why should I keep doing it? That's the reality. I don't need to do it. I'm not just a content creator. All right. I make enough money from my coaching company to be comfortable. All right. I'm just fortunate I have this gift that God's given me. So Raya, what he did, he replaced Ramsdale. All right. Who Arsenal fans loved. If you speak to the average Arsenal fan, they can't comprehend why Ramsdale was dropped and why Raya took his place. Okay, a lot of Arsenal fans, they don't even rate this Raya. It's just Arsenal's defense is so good with Saliba and Gabriel. All right, but this Raya ain't the best. But Ramsdale was their first choice goalkeeper. And do you know when he was born? He was born on the anniversary of Israel declaring its independence. All right. We know that Israel declared its independence in 1948, the same year that King Charles III was born, and then they got attacked by Hamas the same year that King Charles III was coronated. But this is all coincidence to the majority of the world because they don't have the eyes to see. All right. And your boy Ramsdale, he was born May the 14th, 1998, right? He was born exactly 50 years after Israel declared its independence. Satanic equals 50, right? And now what happens is number 22, Raya, replaces Ramsdale, who was born on the anniversary of Israel declaring its independence. Israel was attacked by Hamas. We know that was on Vladimir Putin's 71st birthday. The Russian, we know Russia attacked the Ukraine. All right. Makes me think of Arshavin, who scored 4 goals for Arsenal, the Russian, against Liverpool at Anfield, which didn't make sense. I wish I coded that back in the day. I have done a video on it. Okay. And Israel was attacked by Hamas exactly 22 weeks after King Charles III was coronated, and exactly 22 years after USA invaded Afghanistan, which was the year Arsenal won the Premier League, who I've told you connect to war. So this Raya being number 22, and he's just won the Golden Glove. Well, the Golden Glove winner at the World Cup was Martinez, Aston Villa's goalkeeper. All right, the Villains. And Argentina won the 22nd edition of the World Cup. I told you Harry Kane was born on the 79-year anniversary of World War I beginning, the 22nd prime, and he was born exactly 22 weeks after Bobby Moore died, who won the World Cup in 66. All right? I told you the 22-year anniversary of 9/11 was exactly 42 months after COVID was declared a global pandemic. And it's absolutely scandalous that I have 20 people watching this. The fact is, Satan cannot stand the wisdom that I have and the faith I have in God, all right, and how I expose him every day. Okay? He can't handle it. But Satan, brother, you've lost. And I'm not going to go biblical on you in this stream, all right? But you've lost, brother. Simple as that. I'm exposing you as well as anybody online, and you can't handle it. I know that there's not only 23 people watching out of 12,000. I know that. Okay. And I know I'm absolutely exposing you right now. So again, for anyone who's wondering why Raya's in goal over Ramsdale, well, now you know, don't you? Now you know. So listen to this. The Gunners, remember what I said about Gunners and the definition of gunner, a member of the armed forces who operates or specializes in guns. Arsenal's logo is a cannonball, which connects to war. The word arsenal is a collection of weapons and military equipment stored by a country, person, or group. So again, for anyone who says Arsenal have nothing to do with war, are closed-minded. Can somebody give me a woo? If they at this point say Arsenal aren't connected to war, Arsenal started becoming really good again after Israel got attacked. Okay? After Russia invaded the Ukraine, all of a sudden, Arteta becomes this unbelievable coach. Arsenal are fighting for the title the last 2 seasons. Think about it. Think about it. Is it a coincidence, this stuff? All right? It's not, is it? Ramsdale has won 22 in the past. Are you serious? Yeah. Ramsdale wears number 1, Raya 22. The word satanic equals 122. It's why Kobe's highest scoring game in his 666 game was on January the 22nd, 122, where the Lakers scored 122 points. Okay? Tom, if you want to send me that code, I'll give it a read. Okay? Exactly. What do you mean Arsenal have won 0 trophies since the war have happened? Have you seen how many FA Cups they've won? What are you talking about, channel? You're one of the most clueless people I've ever come across on my channel. Arsenal have won numerous FA Cups since 2001. All right. Thank you so much, Durell. Woo! All right. Arsenal haven't won anything since 2001. You absolutely don't have a clue what you're talking about. And if you keep going, I'll just get rid of you. I don't need people like you listening. All right? That's the reality. I like people who give insights that are insightful. All right? Not people who are saying Arsenal haven't won a trophy since 2001, which is just wrong. So, again, I'm going to get Chad on in a moment. But I'm going to tell you this, right? It says this. The Gunners conducted a minute of applause after 14 minutes had been played at the Emirates, with Bournemouth and the fans taking part too. All right, remember when they did the round of applause in the Sheffield United-Newcastle game for the number 8 who died on the Sheffield United women's team? And then in that game, Newcastle won 8-0. Do you remember that? And there was 8 different goal scorers. Okay? And now, 1 minute silence after 14 minutes. So 1:14, yeah? When was Declan Rice born? 1:14. When did the Queen die? 114 days left in the year. 1 minute silence after 14 minutes. Watch my video about Arsenal and number 41. All right, let me find it for you. Can somebody give me a woo? Are you ready? I'll find the video I did about Arsenal and the number 14. And you'll see why this Arsenal fan got stabbed by a sword and there's a minute silence after 14 minutes. Let me find it. Because again, like the resume of my work is off the charts if you go back and watch it. All right? I don't care if I sound cocky right now. I really don't. So let me see if I can find it. All right? All right, let me find the 14s. I've got so many videos about Arsenal. And you can watch it. Here we go. Remarkable code. Declan Rice, Thierry Henry, Arsenal, and the number 14. You go watch that, all of you. All right? Go watch that. And then watch this live stream. All right? And you'll see why I get demonetized and why people are envious of my work. Go watch that stream later today and then listen to this one again. All right? And see why they had a 1 minute silence after 14 minutes. Let me give you some of the 14s, all right? Declan Rice closed the scoring today against Bournemouth. He was born on the 14th day of the year. He signed for Arsenal for 105 million, record signing. 105 is the 14th triangular number. Arsenal, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the fact is this is the truth. Arsenal are looking to win the 14th league title. Do as you wish with that. Their all-time top goal scorer is Thierry Henry. He wore number 14. Arsenal just gave Bournemouth their 14th league loss of the season. All right? And this 14-year-old was murdered. And then they had the 14-minute, 1 minute silence where they had it. Arsenal have won the FA Cup 14 times. Let's just keep ignoring this. Are you hearing what I'm saying here? How many 14s do you want? All right. What number is Declan Rice? 41. Put that in reverse. Put that in reverse. Put the number 41 in reverse. What does it get you? Does it get you 14? It gets you 14, yeah? Now, Daniel Anjorin, the Arsenal fan, the die-hard gunner they called him, he died on the 79-year anniversary of Hitler's death. And he also died on the anniversary of the Church of Satan being founded. And on Hitler's 135th birthday, Arteta got his 135th win as a coach. And I've shown you that Arsenal connect to war. And Israel declared its independence on the 135th day of 1948. It's why Kobe was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame. All right? On the 135th day of 2021, why he won 135 playoff games. You need to check out my books. If you don't have my books, you won't find these books anywhere else. There's nobody else that's written books like I've written. I know I sound a lot like Donald Trump here, but that's the reality. You won't find my books in a library. If you kept up with my books and my website, you'd watch this stream and you go, oh my word, he's been raving on about this for 3 years. You'd be fully aware. If you're new to my channel, you're going to be like, what's Arsenal got to do with war? What's Arsenal got to do with the Queen? What's Arsenal got to do with Israel? All right, go back and watch the videos and maybe you'll find out. So Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Guys, the book of Daniel is all about prophecy. It's all about prophecy. And the kid who got killed by a sword was called Daniel. All right. These fans inside the stadium, they don't know that they're taking part in a satanic coded ritual of the devil. All right. They have no idea. Now, Revelation 13:5 is how the beast of Revelation reigns for 42 months. Declan Rice, by the way, connects to famine. All right, I've showed you how he connects to famine, Declan Rice. That's why Ipswich got promoted. All right, Ipswich, the tractor boys. All right, farmland, produce. They have the white horse as their logo. The Antichrist rides on a white horse. I called it Ipswich to win today. All right. To end on 96 points, the age the Queen died, whose jubilee lasted 96 hours. Yeah. Guys, Ipswich, back-to-back promotions. How many videos have I given you about back-to-back in the last year? Back-to-back. Got to the Premier League the first time in 22 years. Revelation. 22 chapters, Ipswich Town. Told you their crest is a white horse. The Antichrist rides on a white horse. We recently had a white horse in London, rampaging with blood on it, guys. Declan Rice closed the score in exactly 42 weeks after he signed with Arsenal. All right. He signed with Arsenal on 15/7/2023. He just closed the scoring exactly 42 weeks after he signed for them. Exactly. War equals 42. World War equals 42. Albert Pike predicted there would be 3 world wars. He died on 4/2. The 2022 FIFA World Cup was decided by a shootout, which connects to war. That finished 4-2. The first ever World Cup final, that finished 4-2. When Uruguay beat Argentina. The only time England have ever won the World Cup, that was in 1966, the same year the Church of Satan was founded. They beat Germany. That finished 4-2. All right. See, the Greek team recently beat the Villains 4-2 in a massive shock. How many 4-2s are we getting in the NBA? I called it Dallas Mavericks last night. They knocked out the Clippers. That series finished 4-2. All right. The Pacers beat the Bucks 4-2. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to call Chad. Guys, can you hit the like button for me? Can you do that? And then I'll give Chad a call. And I can do the stream. I can go on for a long time, or I'll just do an hour. All right. So if you want to support me, hit that like button. And I'm going to call Chad right now. And he's going to break it down even more than I just did. So let me call him. The proof you reveal is amazing. God bless you, Adam. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanya. Yeah, it is remarkable work. That's the reality. When I use words like remarkable and insane, all right, I'm not exaggerating with this work. It is. So you've got to understand, when you see 20 likes, it either shows me I'm completely being shadow banned or people cannot process the truth. And I'm one of the few blessed people there is that can see it. So either way, I know the work that I'm doing is incredible. Either being shadow banned or the fact that people can't process it, because it's so incredible. And by the way, Arsenal on 83 points. Who got relegated today? Birmingham City. Who has shares in them? Tom Brady. When was he born? 8-3. Birmingham get relegated? Really? They were one of the favourites for promotion about 10 games into the season. I'm calling Chad now. Why don't you get this information to Gary Neville or someone? Because I would absolutely ruin their career. If my work became mainstream, it would destroy the Premier League. That's the reality. My brother. I'm good. Can you speak a little bit louder, or should I call you on WhatsApp? No, I can barely hear you myself. Should I call you on WhatsApp? All right, brother. I'll call you back. I'm not even sure I have Chad's phone number, actually. Brother, can you send me a number? I think I've lost it or I never had it. Matt Letitia, who was on my show, just watched the stream. All right? Letitia contacted me. Letitia was curious about my work. He asked me a lot of questions. I got him on my show. All right? Letitia never once said he doesn't believe in gematria. He said when he was a pro, nobody talked about gematria. Nobody talked about numbers. That's what he told me. It's up to you, guys. It's completely up to you whether you believe what Letitia said. It's completely up to you. That organically came about, and for a long time, I wasn't going to do it. All right? I could have done it a lot sooner. I wasn't going to do it because I knew there'd be people who are just closed-minded who would say, there you go, confirmation. Illusion is a Freemason. He's just had Letitia on his show. Guys, he contacted me. All right? Simple as that. I thought it was a really good live stream. I thought he gave some really good insights. I thought he was honest. I don't know. Only he knows, and God. But he thinks the numbers are incredible. He doesn't quite understand it, and he said he had nothing to do with it. And the Holy God title, yeah, he didn't like it. That's what he told me. He didn't like being worshipped. He didn't like that title. All right, but it's up to you whether you believe him. God bless you, Dimez. El saldo de tu... This is frustrating me. Just got to figure out setting this up. All right, I need to get rid of that 0. It's annoying when you're saving people's numbers when you're in Mexico. You always got to mess around. So what Chad's going to present is quite simply incredible. Again, I'm talking about Chad here. This is Chad. This is incredible work. I'm not just saying it about myself. I'll say when I think something's incredible. Right, I'm calling him. Finally set it up. I've got you all on WhatsApp now, but I needed to do that +44 and remove the 0. So I just want you to get into it because you're going about this slightly differently to me. You are able to code headlines and what's going on in the media and sync it up with where these football games are going to go. And you're absolutely unbelievable at it, guys. If you don't know who this is, guys, he's unbelievable at what he does, and he's got a YouTube channel. Chad, can you tell him your channel and what you do?
Yeah, I'm deeper conversations with Chad, which is just basically talking about any conversation or subject that generally doesn't get spoke about. So it can be anything. But obviously, I do like to code, bro. You know, I found you along the journey. You kind of taught me, so it's nice to have a little go occasionally. It's easy to see when you see it, you know.
Yeah, and what you saw today is what we want to talk about with why you said Arsenal would win and why Saka would score. And it wasn't just like we know that the average football fan, and I understand it, can say to Chad and can say to Adam, great job, mate. You called Arsenal to win and Saka to score the top goal scorer against Bournemouth. Ain't you a genius? That's the typical response you're gonna get. So you gotta learn to deal with that. And we know we're gonna get that from narrow-minded people. But you can also understand their logic at the same time, correct? You can also get it. All right?
Of course. And the numbers speak, don't they, at the end of the day? So
they do, but numbers are a language and very few people speak it.
Yeah, true, bro.
So I want you to break down here why you were supremely confident Arsenal would win and that Saka would score. And I'll give you the floor, brother.
Let's go, bro. Let's go, because I think this is just immense.
It is.
So I think it was the 30th of April. It happened. This young boy, 14 years old. His name's, I think it's pronounced Daniel Anjorin.
Anderhin, I think.
Excuse my pronunciation. And first off and foremost, love and light to his family. Do you know what I mean? We aren't here trying to say anything negative, anything like that. So, yeah, he was killed on the 30th of April by a guy that was running around with a samurai sword. He killed Daniel and injured 3 others. And I just thought the whole headlines, it caught my attention because it's just weird. Why kill a little boy out of everybody? Do you know what I mean? So,
and with a sword, mate.
And with a sword, yeah. So, like, it's just weird, bro. You know, those ones that stick out.
Yeah.
So I messaged you, didn't I? And I said, watch this land somewhere. Watch this land somewhere.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Literally on the day I remember doing it, when it landed, I knew it was going to roll out somewhere. So as the code begins, obviously, I'll take you now. So on the 30th of April, he was killed. He's a 14-year-old boy in Hanolt. Now, when I looked at this location on the map, Hanolt is directly in between Tottenham and West Ham. And we were talking the day after, weren't we, about the Tottenham game when they were against Chelsea?
Yeah. That was pretty wild, that code with the Chelsea came in with 9 draws and 11 losses, and Tottenham with 18 wins and 6 draws, exactly 18 weeks and 6 days before the upcoming anniversary of 9/11. And the opening goal was scored by Chalobah, who was born on the 186th day of 1999. How remarkable. The code was clearly all about 9/11, like just off the charts. And he scored after 24 minutes. 18 plus 6 is 24. So, yeah. So, keep going.
Crazy. So, yeah. So, that was the first thing that caught my attention. The location in between Tottenham and West Ham. For me, that was kind of indicating sports. Plus, these 3 locations, I joined them up on a map on Google Maps. I set the image and it creates a perfect triangle, doesn't it, bro?
Yeah, it's honestly remarkable. Yeah.
It creates a perfect
triangle. Which is a 3-sided shape, yeah.
Yeah, from Tottenham to there. So, and then I thought to myself, okay, so if this is going to land in sports, what team does he support? I thought that's going to be relevant. So I researched and I found out, this was well before the game today, that he was an Arsenal fan. So naturally, I thought this is going to hit somewhere with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now,
well, all those threes, bro, and they win by 3 goals.
But this is it. So basically, he was 14 years old. Not only that, there was 1 murdered and 4 victims. Again, you've got the 1 and 4.
14,
and then,
yeah.
Like, day after that, I was speaking to you. I found out that Arsenal were holding a minute silence on the 14th minute of the game to basically honour this poor kid that was.
Which was a 1:14, yeah. Which was a 1 minute silence, 14th minute. Declan Rice was born on 1:14.
Wow. And he wears the number 41 shirt.
Yeah.
14 backwards.
Yeah, and he signed for 105 million. 105 is the 14th triangular number.
So from this, I'm thinking, okay, so where's it going to land in the game? So I'm thinking, who would be this kid that's been murdered? Favorite player, and naturally, I'm thinking Saka. One of the reasons is he's from Nigeria. Well, he's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian. Yeah.
Murdered. Saka is of Nigerian descent, mixed with English, so they're the same. Plus, everyone knows that Saka's one of the best players for Arsenal. So naturally, I'm Saka's scoring in a kind of ritual, honoristic way. Again, this isn't necessarily man-made. You could argue that, but beside the point of how it's happening, the numbers have rolled out, and Saka's going to score.
Scored a penalty, didn't he?
A penalty as well in the 45th minute.
Yeah, and we know World War II ended in 45, the year Hitler died. And again, more connections with war in Arsenal.
And a penalty, obviously, for me, signifies it's a lot to do with like different things. Like the murder fits perfectly with a penalty.
Well, yeah, when you can get a penalty, can be also another name for like a fine, so it connects to the police, doesn't it?
Yes, bro, that type of thing in it. So it's like it's almost like a reward for what's happened to this kid. So remember, he's murdered. He's an Arsenal fan. You get a penalty, the first goal of the game, in almost a ritualistic reward for that. In a mad sense again. So this goes deep. So obviously, Saka scores the first goal in a penalty, 45th minute. But the kicker of it all is, bro, is that obviously we knew Rice was going to score as well because he wears the number 41 shirt. That's 14.
Yeah, we coded him on the website, Rice, Rico. It was like, he's always huge value, Declan Rice, because he's pretty much a defensive midfielder. He don't score many.
Yeah, I know, but he always hits generally, doesn't he? When we think he's going to hit.
Yeah, when he has an amazing code, yeah, he hits because he didn't score many goals for West Ham. He's popping up with Arsenal now with big goals because it's the code. It's just the code. I said a while back that they're gonna probably 2 years ago. I said they're gonna turn Declan Rice into Frank Lampard. You know the whole story. West Ham Academy started defensive midfield, brought them up a little bit up the field. They started scoring late runs into the box. Pretty much happening. That's what's happening with Declan Rice right now.
Bro. Listen to this as well. So today is Cinco de Mayo, the Mexican festival.
Cinco de Mayo is on 5/5. That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so but it's the celebration kind of happening.
Yeah. It's completely building up now. Yeah. Cinco de Mayo just means the 5th of May. Yeah.
So this is where I was speaking to you earlier as well, where I want to bring in the Star Wars connection. So. And also, like, Rice is really popular in Mexico, and it's just another thing that was linking to
mate. It's so popular. We have like rice with like anytime you go out, you're pretty much having rice. Like I know when you think about rice, you often think about India, don't you? But we eat a lot of rice out here in Mexico for sure. For sure, mate.
Another reason he was going to score, in a sense. I know that one's a bit, but that was just thinking. So. With the 4th of May, it's also a Star Wars fan day.
Yeah, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. And I sent you if anyone remembers, on Disney they did a Star Wars series, Ahsoka. It was a female Jedi. It was the kind of last big one that they've done in terms of a Jedi. And I was telling Illusion how obviously you just take the AH off the front and it leaves Sokka. If you change the Yo, it turns into Saka.
Yeah.
So, may the force be with Saka today as Sokka, in terms of that Jedi. So there was so much in Saka's favour to score. He had to score. That was just another element coming into it. And then back to the 3-0. Obviously, this kid was killed on the 30th of April. So the 30th of April is 3-0.
Yeah.
Arsenal won 3-0. 4 days after this lad was killed. And... which was in the 4th month of the year. It's just crazy, bro.
No,
yeah. So, so he was murdered on the 30th of April, 14 years old, in the 4th month of the year. 4 days later, on the 4th of May, Arsenal won, his favourite team in his honour. Saka, his favourite player, scoring. Even more so, a penalty kind of related.
Wait, was Saka? Did they say Saka was his favourite player? Are you kidding me?
No. To be honest with you, this is me. This is me summing up. A 14-year-old boy that is got a Nigerian descent. I've kind of put 2 and 2 together, and Saka's going to be his favourite player. But I am punting with that. But I'm pretty sure.
And all those 41s as well. Like Saka scores the opening goal 4 months and 1 day before his birthday.
Those 14s were that 1 and 4 was hitting stupidly today, bro.
Yeah, I know, mate. It's crazy.
And like he scored in the 45th minute, and today's date's the 4th of the 5th month.
Yeah, it can be written. Yeah, 4 or 5. It's just.
and more. The 4th of May, if May backwards, is Yam, and Yam is the 4th heart chakra.
Oh my word! And did you see number 19 scored the second goal, Trossard?
Yeah,
and Saka wears number 7, and 197's the 45th prime number. And the first goal was after 45 minutes. Man, I just wish more people could comprehend this, but I'm so glad you do.
You said Arsenal were going for their 14th title. Bournemouth today got their 14th loss.
Yep. Thierry Henry wore number 14, the all-time leading goal scorer.
It was just crazy.
14 FA Cup wins.
I'm like, I don't know. It's a bit of a reach, but if somehow the Arsenal game relates to tonight's fight with Canelo,
it's all connected, mate. Like
that's it. Like obviously Trossard wears the number 19, and if you just flip that round, it's 61 in it. And if Canelo wins, he gets his 61st victory.
It's the 18th prime. 6 + 6 + 6.
Yeah. And like I think that is obvious, but at the same time, I love an underdog, bro. I really do. And but with the other guys, I'm 43 wins with 34 knockouts, and that's the same number mirrored. It's really hard for him to move off that, I feel. But
let me take a look. Is he a massive favourite? Oh no. Okay, he's not a massive favourite. Usually Canelo's a massive favourite. Is 1 to 4, which is obviously big favourite, but he's usually like 1 to 9. So who? Well, I'm not going to code it right now, but Jaime Mungala is from Tijuana. So they're both Mexican, yeah?
Yeah, it's the first because Canio had a Mexican face-off back in 2000 before, and he won that one. This will be his second all-Mexican face-off on that Mexican day. But the last time Canelo lost was in 2022 of May, literally 2 years in 3 days. And that was, and I don't know whether he's going to repeat, but he's never been knocked out. So, but last time Garcia upset, and I called that right. I'd love to see an upset this time. It's just the numbers aren't really falling in anyone's favor.
Is this guy that he's against his opponent on 43 wins, the 14th prime?
And he's on 34 knockouts. It's a mirrored number as well, isn't it? If you put 34 backwards, it's 43.
Yeah.
So I think he might stay on that. Yeah. I'm not going to code it, but yeah. But if he does beat Canelo, which will be a big shock, he'll become the new face of Mexican boxing, obviously. But they want him to. I think that's what he's primed to be. And Canelo's getting age now, and he's meant to be the new face. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
Let's
see. That one, but it's not definitive. Not like the Arsenal today with his murder. Wow.
I know, mate. It's do you know Saka was born the year of 9/11?
He's connected to so much in his Saka.
It's why it had to be him who missed the penalty for England against Italy, wearing number 25, and England scored 2 out of 5 penalties. He was 19 at the time, and 19 hijackers were responsible for 9/11. That's what we're told. So yeah, Saka missed that pen ever since. Again, you've seen my videos about this. I said Saka is going to go next level after his penalty miss. I was right. Said he's going to become like a superstar, and since then he's pretty much become this superstar. And it's just his numbers. It's his numbers. They're absolutely crazy. And every single game week, he has crazy numbers. The numbers that I always talk about or have done for 4 years, Saka has them every other week. God bless you, Nicola. So, yeah, mate, that's special with the Arsenal code. And yeah, City play later against Wolves. You expect City to win that, and then it's a 1 point. Yeah, the 4 points top now, aren't they, Arsenal? Another 4.
I think so.
They're clear by 4, which again, the 4 horsemen. All the 4s I say about the Queen, like she had 4 children. Platinum Jubilee was 4 days. The UK is made up of 4 nations. The dialing code is +44. There's just so many fours in connection
that's
with the Queen and the UK.
4-4. Because if this guy wins tonight and he goes to 44 wins,
I know.
Can you see any connection with that? With
just like I said, well, today's 53 date numerology, the 16th prime, and that's 4 times 4, 16. The 44. I just think of. I always think of that UK dialing code. I don't know how that would influence Mexico.
Because the murder happened here in the UK. That's the only link it's got in it to the fight over there. 4-4. In terms of our dialing code, and then the 4-4 you could get, but it's loose. But I just. When you mentioned that something just sparked, I like that, bro. The 4-4. That's how you remember the UK and it plus 4-4.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild. And Arsenal wear red, by the way. Another reason why Arsenal connect to war is the second horseman rides a red horse, which symbolizes war. So the connections with Arsenal and war is honestly just something that the whole world should pay attention to and go, all the things that he's saying here can't be denied. And we know Arsenal's captain, by the way, is Odegaard. You know he has the same birthday as the Pope?
Wow.
The Pope was born with 14 days left in the year, just like Odegaard for another 14.
Wow.
And this was the 36th round match of the Premier League, and Francis was born in 36, wasn't he? Which 666, the 36th try, and the beast reigns for 3 years and 6 months. And like I said, mate, his name being Daniel is just remarkable with the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel is a biblical apocalypse.
But that's the first thing I sent you on it. I think it was from the book of Daniel on it. That's how we got talking about it when he first got murdered. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it connects to like Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar. It was a dream of 4 kingdoms, which Daniel was able to interpret, but it was 4 kingdoms, mate. Another 4. So Nebuchadnezzar wanted people, well, pretty much like these magicians, to reveal what his dream was because he forgot. And it was Daniel, through God's grace and wisdom, that allowed him to reveal the dream to Nebuchadnezzar. And it was about a dream of 4 kingdoms. So again, just being able to see all this, bro, comprehending the numbers, comprehending scripture, connecting it all, having the capacity to do that. It's such a blessing, man. It really is. So yeah, the next question is this, and this is a really, really tough one, and it's one that's controversial, and we can't truly get an answer for it. I shouldn't even ask you. Did this Daniel really get killed by a sword? Is his name really Daniel? Like, did he even exist? If he didn't, how did they get away with it? If he did, this is wild. Like, is everything we see true, or is it lies? And what's the lie and what's not?
I'll be honest. I didn't know that question, because you hear all these murders and these people, all this stuff in the news, and you question this when you're at our level. What is this happening? But not so long ago, I think anyone in the UK would have saw it on the news. There was a little girl murdered by her mom, and it was in Dudley, where I live, and it was actually in Rowley Regis.
And it happened, didn't it?
Mom, I knew her myself, and my mates lived next door to her and knew her well. And the mom was 33 years old, and all the numbers were mad, bro. If I would have saw that in the paper, I would have questioned.
That's what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying.
But it really happened, so that it is happening. Don't get me wrong, some of them might be crisis act and all of that kind of shit, but I feel it is. It's just the numbers are higher, like higher or lower than us, whichever way you want to look at it. It's the best way for people to see it. It's like, I always often describe it as like Matrix in it. And all I see me doing sometimes is I see little codes where that relate to things. And I am a genius at anything like that. I can just see the pattern and the link, and it's there. And people can deny it all they want, but certain numbers tell you what's going to happen.
My thing, what I say about Satan, he blurs lines. So there will be events that have happened that are completely organic, and there'll be stuff that he does put together that is false. I think that's what he does. Is the master of blurring lines is the devil. So I don't believe for a second everything that's reported is true, but I also don't believe that everything reported is a lie.
Exactly.
He blurs it. With this one, it seems suspect. And what we can say is that the death, let's just say he died, the death of Daniel, the Arsenal fan, was completely coded and connected to this game and potentially Arsenal winning the league. We can say that through the gift we have. I know a lot of people say you can't prove that, but again, when I peel off all those 14s, they can look them all up. Like, they can look them all up. Do you know what I mean?
I just need to say that, like, for anyone listening, the way I see this is, like, I've got complete love and gratitude to his family right now, because from as far as I'm concerned, we have to go off what we said. That is, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I've got complete love for his family. At the same time, if his family ever listened to this or anyone that knew him, I'm not here trying to say that this guy was trying to fit into a code and knew everything about it. It doesn't work like that as far as
I don't, not at this point. I've had times where I've thought that, but it's too deep. It's too deep.
This is it. It's just working almost automatically, almost like, and it's I can't give you that in like words. It's too deep. We could talk about that for a long time. But it's not like, you know, there's this scripted plot which everybody can see. I don't even see it like that. You know what I mean? If anything, that plot and script is behind. But then the unseen code, like, so it's just happening.
What about things like this? So, Nicola, I'm speaking to Chad. He's got a YouTube page called Deeper Conversations with Chad, and it's incredible if you've got an open mind and you question your reality. And he's one of my good mates, more than anything, more than a content creator. He's my mate. So, right. So I'll give you an example here. So, guys, can you hit the like button, Nicola? I'd appreciate it, please. Thank you, and much love. So, you know, I told you Mikel Arteta was born 7,109 days before 9/11, and 7,109 is the 911th prime, and they play at the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, planes connects to 9/11, yeah?
Yeah.
And Saka was born the year of 9/11, and that was a year where Arsenal won the league. Now, then you've got Mikel Arteta. Again, the 7,109. If his real birthday is what they tell us it is, which is the 26th of March, which means he was born on the 56th. Well, it means he was born in 1982 and he was born 26/3, the 56th prime. Now, coronavirus equals 56. COVID vaccine equals 56. Boris Johnson put England into the second lockdown on November the 5th with 56 days left in the year, and he had a 56-page document which the media told us about. It's like the governor of California said that 56% of Californians would get test positive for COVID over an 8-week period, and 8 times 7 is 56. So they told us, the media said that Mikel Arteta was the first Premier League coach to test positive for coronavirus. And Arteta has that 26/3 birthday, the 56 prime, the biggest number with coronavirus. Now, when you hear of things like that, it's like, so did Mikel Arteta really test positive for coronavirus and was the first coach? Even was that by the numbers? Or was that made up? And have they made up his date of birth? And or is it completely organic? Arteta is their coach because of when he was born. And he played for them as well, by the way. He played for Arsenal, did Arteta. It was their number 8. Now their captain is number 8, Odegaard. And then you've got things like this. Arteta's Spanish, just like Pep. Now, Arteta was Pep's number 2. And then last season, City finished first and Arsenal second. So it's just strange how he was Pep's number 2, and now they're battling it out for the Premier League yet again. So
No, I know, and you're right, man-made, divine.
It's got to be. It has to, like, that is starting to make a little bit more sense to me, because whilst we're implying that, again, I don't do this anymore. If you know this, I don't ever talk about the Freemasons or the Illuminati. If you've been watching my work recently, I did for years. I just knew it was bigger than man, way bigger than man. So when I think about the media now, I don't think about the Freemasons. I think about the devil. The devil runs the mainstream media. Is the prince of the air, the airwaves. That's the work of the devil. So yeah, we've got to, and I don't think we'll ever know. But I think it's good if we start potentially just saying, guys, I think this is organic. I think it has to be organic, like to some degree.
I think people, I think it's a bit of half and half. I feel it's organic, but some of it's been manipulated and being manipulated, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Or some of it is known. It's like The Simpsons. It's a great example, isn't it? It's like how they show all these events was coming because they know how it's going to roll out. They know the plots and they know the stories, what are going to come. So for that to happen, they need to have a peek behind the curtain. They've got to know. So there's some knowing or manipulation somewhere along the line. It's either a manipulation or a knowing. And that knowing is being like almost hand in hand with the thing that's running it, or part of that.
Do you think a lot of people turn away from this work because there's too many questions unanswered?
But potentially, bro, it's a rabbit hole. Once you go to one thing, you go to another, don't you? It's like a spider's web, and it's always a bit of a paradox. A lot of it's a paradox, and it works for both. It's very confusing. So I think so, yeah, because it can send people mad as well.
Yeah, I think. Have you seen the movie 23 with Jim Carrey? Yeah, like when I began my journey on this with the code and the numbers and everything, I could completely comprehend and understand why everyone thought I was nuts. Like, I wasn't deluded enough to think that they wouldn't think I was crazy. It is crazy. And I'm okay saying that. I still think it's crazy, but now I see it as a real, like, incredible blessing. And again, by doing all of this, I'm not at a point now where it's all about me always being right, because I know I can't be. I've fully come to terms with that what we're doing here, right? There'll be a lot of people around the world or whatever who are saying, these two guys are Mr. Know-it-alls. They're only talking here to reveal how smart they are. And this Chad guy wants to show that he called Saka an Arsenal and he won a bit of money. All right. But it's way bigger than that. Like, it's remarkable, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And all that the average person would possibly say is coincidence. Oh, coincidence. Oh, coincidence. That's fine. I think that's fine. But at the end of the day, I don't believe.
I actually don't. I don't have that's one thing that has always irritated me with the coincidence. I think it's the devil's favorite word. So, like, everything we've just given about Arsenal. Remember, I told you it's game week 36.
Yeah.
Well, why does it say this? A 36-year-old man inflicted fatal wounds on the teenager in the London suburb of Enfield.
You bad boy.
Bro, it was 36 years old.
Yes, he was. I remember now. I missed that. Great, bro.
No, my pleasure. And remember, Arsenal's the only invincible team, and they went 49 games undefeated. What's 4 times 9? It's 36.
You bad man. That links it perfectly. That's with that added on, man.
Yeah, get that in. He was 36 years old. So again, either completely organic, and it had to be this 36-year-old who's somehow got hold of a sword, just starts stabbing people with a sword, and had to be a 14-year-old that died.
I know out of all the people, it was a 14-year-old boy, you know. Like, it's just crazy, eh? You just don't get your head around it. Like,
Well,
that's why. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like I said, whatever this is, let's approach it. Whatever this is, God, the devil, man, a matrix, whatever people want to say, because they're all entitled to their opinion. Completely organic. It's being revealed to us, is what we all need to know. Yeah, it's being revealed. Like all over the media, a 14-year-old boy is just being stabbed by a sword. Whether it's real or not, that's what we're told. Whether or not 19 hijackers were responsible for 9/11, or it was an inside job, or it was this, or it was that, we have to go off what we're told. So whoever's behind it, it's still happening. It's still being revealed to us. It's just we have to decide who's ultimately behind it, or just continue to reveal it. For me, I know we're slightly different with this. For me, my ultimate goal is to lead people to the Bible, but there's also other reasons why I do it. Because many people have said to me, why do you even do this? And at the beginning, are you searching for something?
Of course.
At the beginning, I was like, well, I just want to expose deception, and I want to win money, and I want to help people win money. But the more I do this, obviously I don't bet anymore, the more I'm like, I just want people to see that this is actually all connecting to the Bible. And again, another thing, people can decide, and this is completely on them, if man wrote the Bible, if it is the word of God, if it's the Freemasons. But the fact is, the final book of the Bible is playing out during our life right now, and it's up to you whether you believe who wrote it or not. Bro, what's all those noises?
Sorry, brother.
No, it's all right. I'm just wondering what it is. If it's the phone or...
I'm cutting up a salad. I apologize.
No. I wasn't sure if it was the line or if you were doing something.
No, it's me.
So, yeah, like I said, it's playing out. It's just up to people now to decide why it's playing out, who wrote it, but it is playing out, and to have the ability to sit down and read it. So, Chad, is there anything else you want to say because you're making dinner?
Yeah, I just want to say that although, it seems like we're coming from different perspectives to a degree of the final outcome or the reasons behind, it's actually the same, because like the way I see the essence of the Bible is lack of control and fear of man, and love and light, and all the core messages and principles of it is what I try to preach, to give to them. So although it doesn't seem that I'm shouting about God and that's the reason I'm doing it, although it is because it's just in a different light. We're fighting for the same cause, and we know that, and that's why me and you can get on so well, regardless of little opinions or.
Yeah, we don't see everything the same way. But again, I'm not one of those people who's like, you have to completely agree with me, or I'm not having anything to do with you. I think,
exactly, bro. Yeah,
like
beautiful.
The way you coded Arsenal and Saka today is completely different to the way I coded Arsenal. But look, when you bring it together.
And that's why I love working with you, because I miss elements, and when I bring it with yours, it's more complete. And yours it's not the traditional way, but yours is like the way I see it. That's the right way to do it. The masterful way to do it. That shows it in its completeness. Where I bring in other sides to it, which only back it up.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's relevant. What's happening in the news is so relevant all the time. I've caught it so many times.
No, I know. You do it day by day, bro.
That's all I do. The news is complete. That's why I can't get it as much, because sometimes the news, there's nothing there. Does that make
I don't watch the news, but yeah, I remember growing up. Sometimes the news would be on. It's like, what a waste of time. Like, so Nothing's like, you see some of the headlines. It was like, man steals loaf of bread from local co-op. It's like, all right, nice one. You got nothing else. And then sometimes it's like this: 14-year-old boy stabbed with a sword, and you're like, what?
That's it. It catches your eye, doesn't it?
It's like something out of like a horror movie.
You've got to look at you, and it's almost like a message to me. It's almost like, it's probably the same for you. Certain things light up, and when they light up, it says, look at it. Otherwise, I'll miss it, because I don't watch the news. I don't really listen to the radio. I try and put people against that. Do you know what I mean?
For me, you can't ignore a rampaging white horse with blood on it, and then a guy getting stabbed by a sword a few weeks later. It's not stuff that I would just brush off, like somebody robbing a loaf of bread from co-op.
In it, bro. That's it. That's it. That's it, bro.
Right. Well, anyway, mate, quite remarkable. I'm going to do about another 10 minutes there. I need to get off. I've got a busy day today. I'm actually coaching another birthday party, this time on the beach.
Have a great time, brother.
Yeah, cheers, bro. And thank you for this. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. We'll speak soon.
Thank you, bro. Take care, guys. Love and light.
Love and light. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. And again, listen, I'm on this path with God. I've given myself to Christ, all right? He's number one in my life. It doesn't mean everybody I speak to or invite on the show is completely walking my path. Can somebody give me a woo? All right? Somebody's saying Chad's page is New Age. There's a lot of incredible information there, all right? Does he go to the gospel? Does he go to the Bible? Is he all in the way I am? Is he reborn? Has he been baptized? No, but his information's still great. So don't just go in there after 1 minute, check out his videos and say he's completely New Age. He has a gifted mind. He cares about the truth, and he presents remarkable work. He's the guy who did my documentary. So again, let's not be that Christian who's like, unless they're completely on your page, then this guy's New Age, this guy's that, this guy's that. All right, just watch his work. You'll learn from him, because he's doing videos that the majority of the world could only dream of doing. Okay? So that's what I'd say about that. So thank you, Chad. It's Deeper Conversations with Chad is his name. For me, Decode Your Reality, I don't like the way he presents his work. I think he's self-righteous, Mr. Man. I've told you all of this. And all of his tarot card readings and stuff. I remember a comment he said to me. He literally said, I think he said to me, "You know nothing," or something. And I was like, oh my word. Okay, mate, I know nothing. So anyways, again, so Liverpool threw their games. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I can tell you that Liverpool were doing great. I can tell you I predicted Klopp would leave at the end of the season before the season began. Go watch the video on it. I can tell you that England's campaign at Euro 2024 begins on Jurgen Klopp's birthday. I can tell you Klopp retired the year of 9/11 when Liverpool won 5 trophies. I can tell you Liverpool were dominating when Salah was at the African Cup of Nations. A lot of people saying Liverpool are going to win the league. Loads of people came out saying it. Salah comes back. Liverpool start to struggle. Salah falls out with Klopp, even though they had this incredible relationship. I can tell you that Mane and Firmino in Saudi Arabia, I wouldn't be shocked if Salah joins them. But can I tell you that all the Liverpool players knew? No. I'll never be able to tell you that. Can somebody give me a woo? Mr. Man, when you tell me somebody's work is well presented, you could have a plate full of food that looks delicious and tastes like shit. That's all I'll say about that. Presentation's not everything. I do believe if my work was well presented, I'd have a bigger following. I don't care too much about having a bigger following. I do appreciate when people hit the like, but I don't care about having a major following. And making my work incredibly well presented. And I know I could, God, if I really focused on the presentation and putting together the videos and revealing the numbers and you could see it all and the graphics behind it, But even then, most people wouldn't understand it. Burnley going back down, most likely. Yep. Yep. Pretty much need a miracle to stay up. So, yeah, I don't believe the players know. All of them. I think some of them do. I don't believe they all know. I think too many of them would have lost their mind. Can somebody give me a woo? I think if every player that ever played in the Premier League was completely aware of the code and the demonic possession and the symbolism, and before the season began, they knew who were going to win, and it was all written out, and they're just fulfilling a script like actors, I think they would lose their mind. All right? I don't believe, like, when you watch these pundits, that they could have a laugh and a joke as often as they do if it was as satanic. That if they, I believe it's satanic if they were completely aware of it. I've give you good examples within games, correct? When a player hits the inside of the post. Okay, like the Cole Palmer free kick. Did you guys watch Chelsea Tottenham? I don't have a favourite football team, brother. I used to support Man United massive time and Bradford City. I played for Bradford City, a youth team. But my team was Man United. I don't watch football anymore. I occasionally check the highlights out. And I saw Cole Palmer had this free kick against Spurs, and it was a wonderful free kick with his left foot, hit the underside of the crossbar. It came out straight to Jackson. Good header, to be fair. He gets a lot of abuse. It was a good header. Used his net muscles, good technique. Goal 2-0. And I don't believe for a second that Cole Palmer aimed for the crossbar so the ball would land to Jackson's head. I don't believe that's possible. I don't believe anyone's that good in the world to do that. Is there a chance that some of them are aware, perhaps the coaches, your Ancelottis, your Mourinhos, your Peps, your Artetas? Do all of them need to know? No. Do I think some of them know and know about the black magic and know that Satan's behind it and these people have given themselves to the devil? Like, I can't look any of you in the eye and say no professional athletes giving themselves to the devil. Watch my video about Usain Bolt. Do you think that's his real name, Bolt, like lightning bolt, and Lucifer was cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt? And they say Usain Bolt is as fast as lightning? Again, it's either we live in a completely coded reality or Satan is behind certain aspects of the code. I believe is behind professional sports. That doesn't mean everybody who performs in professional sports are Satanists. Same with music, same with acting. There's levels. There's A-list celebrities, there's one starring in Hollywood movies, then there's one starring in Hollyoaks and Coronation Street. There's singers who are attending the Grammy Awards, who I think are all satanic at that level. And then there's bands that are one-hit wonders. Okay? They've had some level of fame. You can't put them together. Like your Kendrick Lamar and your Drake, that 616 beef they're having, the alternate number of the beast is 616. That's why the 616 is in the news with those two. Do I believe Drake and Kendrick Lamar are against each other? No, I believe they work for Satan. Do you remember the East Coast against the West Coast? I'm sure a lot of you believe that. Diddy, Biggie, Tupac, Snoop, Dr. Dre, all of that. Do you believe they were against each other? Or you can say, no, it's the Freemasons that own the record labels. They did it, all right, because they knew that it would generate more income. Or do you believe it was the devil? And by the way, Eminem, the white rapper, I believe that's the devil as well. It has you focus on race. Whoa, white boy can rap better than every black rapper. I believe the devil uses certain people. I'll never be able to prove it, but I think I've done an incredible job at making you consider it. Can I get an amen? Do I believe there's sacrifice in these sports and Hollywood? Yes, absolutely. Can I prove it? No, but absolutely I do believe. Because if you look at the Bible, there was a lot of sacrifice. You sacrifice to the gods. You don't think that's still going on? Nothing new under the sun. There was sacrifice to the gods. And remember, a lot of these celebrities, their firstborn dies. Their first boy son dies. Remember when Satan was aware that Jesus would be a firstborn son, and he ordered for all the firstborn sons to be murdered? Well, if you actually look at a lot of celebrities, when there's a tragic death, it's their firstborn son that dies. Yeah, Gematria, if you've been doing it for 4 years as well, the fact is, this is something I've got to come to terms with. I've got to go soon. I've told you this. You know, when somebody, for example, if somebody's incredibly fast, talented at sports, unbelievable voice, great actor, has a fantastic physique, everybody can see it unless they're actually blind. You can see it, you can acknowledge it, yeah? With my gift, which I think from what I've seen is one of the best in the world, next to nobody understands it. Do you know how tough that is for me? Take away my arrogance and ego. You can look at this in different ways, and I understand it. Say whatever you want. But do you know how frustrating it is to be this good, to have next to nobody understand it? How exhausting that is. To have 11 books which are so life-changing, which you're never going to see in a library or promoted on Amazon or doing book tours or anything like that because there's too much truth in it. Guys, Declan Rice just scored exactly 42 weeks after he signed with Arsenal. How many videos do I want to give you about 42 and the Beast and War? Declan Rice just scored 1,939 days after his first ever Premier League goal. World War II began in 1939. I don't know why I know all this stuff or why other people on my website know it. It still doesn't make sense sometimes to be able to know this and memorize it and just... But to have this gift, it's again when I preach the word of God. The ones who have the Holy Spirit, they think it's the best thing. Wow, you full of the Holy Spirit, it's so powerful, keep preaching. Most people don't want to hear it. So it's like I've got the wild gift of coding and preaching the word of God. I've got these two gifts that next to nobody can process. Has anyone become rich from your website predictions? A guy won $28,000 from my Argentina code when they won the World Cup. He won $28,000 because he sent me some money. I don't think any middle class person is getting rich from gambling. They don't have the money to bet. Can somebody give me a woo? I've told you all of this. Gambling should be a bit of fun if you do it. And try not to get too attached and addicted to it. But there's no middle class person getting rich from gambling. They don't have the money to stake. They don't have the money to stake. I say this all the time. Let's look. Yeah, guys, can you hit that like? Somebody's saying get him to 50. Can you do that for me right now? Push that and I'll do another 5 minutes. 37 likes for the... Again, just another one. I'm so excited. It's early morning. Let's reveal the code. And again, it's watched by next to nobody. And I'm trying not to get frustrated by it, but there will come a time where I just don't bother. Unfortunately, and it's not me giving up. It's just like, what more can I do? Like Trossard scores after 70 minutes. The Queen reigned for 70 years. Daniel's 70-week prophecy. What was it? So yeah, this is what I was saying. So I'm only going off people in England, people that I know. The average person in England, right, barely makes enough money to cover their essentials. Can somebody give me a woo? Tell me I'm wrong. The average person in England, I'm guessing probably the whole world at this point, They get their wage at the end of the month. They paid the rent or they're mortgaged or their insurance, put food in the fridge, maybe had a few nights out, bought some new clothes or whatever it is that they do with their money. How's the average Joe following me for $10 going to get rich when they might, if they're lucky, have 30 quid at the end of the month left over? Think about it. And then on top of that, I say with me, when you win money from me, you have to be unbelievably gifted at reading the games in play, which I am. Remember the other day I said the Knicks are going to win? It was 86-86 timeout against the 76ers, exactly 86 weeks after the Queen died. And the Knicks, New York, connects to the Queen. Remember, York was going to be the capital of England. I saw that. That was even money. When I bet $2,000 on that. $2,000, not $20, not $5, not $50. I was betting thousands of dollars when I saw a code like that. So I could bet $2,000 to win $2,000. Okay, and that's what I did for 9 months. I didn't always win. I won the majority of the time. But I know that the average person, a lot of people have to leave my website. They say, I need that $10. They've told me. I ain't going to share the emails with you, or I could, but I'm not going to show their names. I need to save that $10. I've got rid of my Netflix as well. I got rid of Sky Sports. All right. I understand it, but that's the world we're living in right now. So when you ask me, people getting rich from your picks, like, can we be real? God bless you, Joseph. Guys, can you subscribe to Joseph? I've just seen him in the chat. Joseph Aquaviva 2222. Subscribe to his channel. He's brilliant. So again, if you start approaching my work, all of you in the chat, and I know a lot of you do appreciate my work. If you start appreciating that this guy you're looking at here is preaching the word of God, is trying to lead people to salvation and repentance, which is what I do. And if you start looking at my work where, wow, he's making me question my whole reality here. Wow, I am actually starting to think professional sports are coded. Wow, maybe I am giving too much energy to these celebrities. If I'm doing any of that for you, I think that's worth $10 a month to support me. Because who else is doing that for you? You might have Joseph. So, again, for me, with what I charge, for what I offer, is incredible. It's unmatched. But it don't mean I'm going to have thousands of people giving me $10. Would I appreciate that? I'd enjoy that. Would I be grateful? Would I be comfortable? Yeah, in an ideal world. But I ain't ever going to get 1,000 people paying me $10. And I know there's people out here that work in sales that make more money in a day than I make in a month from being the illusion. They make more in a day. I've seen their paychecks. Nobody has a problem with them doing it. It's like, good for them. But when somebody's making money online or through a website or through doing something that they actually enjoy, it's really frowned upon. So again, this Arsenal code, what were they? I'm sure they were 1-4. I didn't even look at the odds. They're home against Bournemouth. If you want to look at, oh, well done, he coded Arsenal, how was I going to win money from that? You need to look in the mirror and know that's you. And that's your heart. Can somebody give me an amen? I wouldn't bet on the draw with City. I think City win. But you see where I'm going? That's actually your heart. That's not mine. Or you can look at the Arsenal code and go, wow, Adam says Arsenal's connected to war. Arsenal, Gunners, Cannonball. He did the code about Declan Rice, who connects to war. He's done the video about number 14. Oh, wow, and now this fan gets stabbed by a sword. He's age 14. You can look at it like that. Or you can keep looking at the odds, or you can keep saying he got a pick wrong. Or you can keep saying he said 49ers. You got a choice how you judge my work, and you're entitled to it. Same with you got a choice whether to repent. But I'm telling you, in this world for $10, I can't buy an omelet in Mexico for $10. I can't buy an omelet, which I eat in 2 minutes. So, yeah, anyways. Naz, I ain't going to knock you out, brother. I ain't going to knock you out. Illusion Sight has good coders on it, no doubt. Yeah, there's so many. This goes under the radar with my website. Guys, Rico33 coded Declan Rice. I'm sure he was probably 6-1 to score. Trossard. All right. The amount of codes that get shared. Savvy yesterday, I think he got 5 out of 6 in the Major League Baseball. I was perfect in the NBA again. But all it needs is one pick to be wrong. Put it on Twitter. Say this guy's a fraud. You don't know what you're missing. I ain't going to present every code that hits on my website. I don't have enough minutes in the day with the people that share the codes. There's some great minds there, guys. Thank you for saying that, Naz. I appreciate that. Your win rate must be 85%. Probably. Probably. But I don't even focus as much on it. I used to keep record of my win percentage because I used to bet. And I used to keep track of how much money I won. And it was a lot. I made more money in 9 months than I did teaching for a year. But it's not a good lifestyle. Can somebody give me a woo? It ain't a good lifestyle. It wasn't for me. It was a very toxic lifestyle. And it showed me money's not everything. Money's important in this world. Let's not deny that. Money is very important in this world. But if you allow it to take over, for 9 months, it took over my life. The only time in my life money's taken over my life was that 9 months where I was just out of control with what I was doing with betting. Out of control. I was betting $1,000 like it was 50. Now I would probably say 500 was like 50, 1,000 was like 100. That was my mindset. And it ain't healthy. Even when you win, it ain't healthy. I actually think that 9 months of me betting, it's taken years off my life. I almost felt my heart was going to stop numerous occasions. I don't recommend it. I have no issue with people betting small amounts of money they can afford. How I used to see that was like, it's no different to going to the movies or going on a night out or going out for dinner, all right, or going to play bowling. If you're going to bet $10, $20 and you're entertained by it. But once it becomes a lifestyle, which it was for me, it's toxic. However, it don't matter if you winning a shitload of money either. It will end up biting you in the ass in some way or the other. Even if you win a big profit, guys. I've told you this. This is, guys, there's a guy who charges $1,800 for his monthly picks, and he's about 50% win rate. And he don't even put out codes. He just says, take this team. This amount of units. There's other guys charging $200 who are some of the worst coders I've ever seen. They make more money than I do. Do you not think that occasionally irritates me? That they're literally making more money than I am and they can't code. But people pay it. I don't know if it's the way they word their codes or because they really make it about gambling and they use terms like Newcastle will win. And I don't know, but people are making tons of money off this who can't really code. But fair enough. If they are, they are. People don't have to pay these people. But yeah, like I said, I hope you subscribe to the God Wins channel. That is where I'll purely just be preaching the word of God. I really do believe Illusion's heart is good. I'm a tough one to dupe. I'll say this. If you don't trust me, what is it you don't trust about me, anybody? If you just look over my work, I just want to try and get in your head. Is there anybody in the chat that's not convinced by me? And I'm open to it. I'll try and answer your questions. Is there anybody in this chat who questions me? If I'm authentic, if I'm organic, if I'm part of the elite, whatever people say about me, you can ask me now, whatever you want. And if you have any doubts, just let's go. I'm open to it. I will not get offended. Naz, he isn't duping you. Try other channels. Yeah, definitely don't just trust my word. Don't just come to the illusion thinking I'm God's gift and I've got all the answers. I don't. But Man City penalty, 10 minutes gone. Is it to City? Is Haaland going to step up? Hopefully it's Haaland. I told you, bro, I would not have put money on the draw in this game. Man City should win this game because I've coded it. Not just because it's Man City. Man City actually lost to Wolves this season, if you remember. Let me see if he scores. It says, my initial reaction is this is very harsh. This is Carragher. The ref did not give it straight away. I do not know, but it's certainly not going to be overturned. Joe Shred, this feels harsh. Guardiola's shot is already going over the bar and he runs into Aitnuri as much as the Wolves defender caught his opponent. So again, it sounds like a controversial penalty. Should never be a penalty. VAR are going to look at it and they'll probably still give it. I do believe VAR are demons. I believe the algorithm are demons. I don't believe that's man either. Okay? I think we just really underestimate the spiritual world. Like, I do believe the algorithm is demons. I don't think it's some guys at YouTube or in the Catholic Church caring about what I have to say. I think demons know exactly the power of what I'm preaching. There you go. Goal. Haaland. Done. Penalty. Should not have been a penalty. I've got him for the golden boot. But again, you'll probably say it was a gimme. It's not a gimme. Look, Cole Palmer's come out of nowhere. Salah. Want a complete gimme. Barcelona's 1-1 with Girona. Do you know Girona? Guardiola's brother works for them. And Guardiola got so much success with Barcelona. The director of Girona is Guardiola's brother. City Arsenal is going to go to the last game of the season. I think you and Joseph are totally authentic. Thank you. Penalty awarded after 9 minutes and number 9 Haaland scores. VAR taking humanity out of sport. Yeah, right. Let me give you an example of how subtle Satan's minions are. You know Tottenham's coach. Can somebody give me a woo? Yeah, the devil is in the details. Exactly, Benjamin. God bless you. Tottenham's coach, yeah? His whole, again, I don't know what's real anymore, other than the word of God. His whole aura is just this typical Aussie lad, yeah? Good day, mate. And he's like, he just seems down to earth and he's like living his dream. An Australian coaching in the Premier League, right? And he did a great job at Celtic, but again, winning trophies with Celtic in Scotland ain't that difficult, right? Now, he got interviewed about VAR. And he said things that the average football fan would agree with. Listen to me here. Guys, ping the like because I'm going to make you think here. This is the subtlety and the craftiness of the serpent. And people are working for Satan. I say this, they're either oblivious to the fact that they are, or they've given themselves to him. Most people working for Satan are not aware of it. Remember what Jesus said, if you're not with me, you're against me. Basically, you're antichrist if you're against Christ, if you deny him. But the average person doesn't believe in Satan or that, but they're working for Satan. That's just the reality. I work for God. I'm a child of God. I'm on God's team. God wins. So Angie got interviewed about VAR, and he said, it's ruined the game. And he was like, it's not about the referees on the pitch anymore. It's the referees inside of a studio. We may as well not even have referees on the pitch. So if you hear that without discernment, your first thought is, wow, I agree with him. VAR's ruined the game. All right? It's correct. But when you go deeper, and I always do, can I get a woo, woo, woo? Better say 4 woos, woo, because if I say 3 woos, he's a Freemason. But all he's done there is get us prepared for not having humans on the pitch or at the side of the pitch officiating the game. So ultimately, handing it over to technology, which has taken over the world and technically replacing mankind in many ways. We see it already. Best example, just go to your local Asda, Morrison's, and it's self-checkout, AI. All right? AI can do so much. Like Grammarly, why learn English now? I'll have Grammarly write my email up. This, that, and the other. List, self-driving cars. The list goes on. I don't need to go. I could do a separate live on that. But he will say that and you go, wow, this lad's bang on. VAR's ruined the game. Yeah, we may as well not even have humans officiating. To the point where then what happens, this is again with the devil, is this. A word that I hear people say a lot about my work that I predict years in advance and it happens. Inevitable. A word that sends shivers down my spine. So when I tell you all now, guys, within a few years, there's not going to be any referees on the pitch. There'll be no linesmen. It's all going to be AI behind it. Nah, no way. No, there's always going to be an official on the pitch. No way, Adam. All right? You're crazy. No, just watch. Then the headline telling us that there's not going to be any referees anymore. So, boys, what do you think of that? Do you remember that video? You remember it? Yeah, well, it's pretty inevitable when you look where the world is now. If I had any hair left, I would have pulled it all out by now, guys. Can somebody give me a woo? It goes on and on and on and on and on. That I say stuff. I'm crazy. It happens. It was inevitable. Do you know how tough that is? Do you know how tough-skinned Adam Edwards has to be for this job? How tough-skinned they have to be? And sometimes cocky. Sometimes I've got to be a bit cocky. Because the stuff that I've called and that got laughed at and got called me crazy, I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy. I'll repeat what I said last time. My local church has a card-only machine for payment to God. Another example of these churches, they don't know the word of God. They would see straight away, wait, this is clearly preparing us for the mark of the beast. But a lot of churches are about money, aren't they? Please do football watch-alongs live and code games in play. Guys, I don't watch the games. I've done it before, and they're the videos that blown people's minds. I did some live streams of the Euro games. I got them bang on. I said, look what's going to happen now. I've done it. So watch what's going to happen. I've said in live streams, guys, it's 2-2 now. Arsenal, they're going to win in added time. Watch. Just watch. Take them. 99th minute. Declan Rice scores. I think it was against Luton. I said, Arsenal win this game. Watch. They're going to win it right at the death. Did it in the stream. I don't get any credit for it. It's just, yeah, big teams always find a way. So City will win this game because it's going to go to the last game of the season. It has to. It's got to. Man City become 25-7-3 in the league. Elizabeth became the queen at age 25. She was married 73 years. She was born on 4-2-1, the 82nd prime. Man City got at 82 points. So again, I'll be gobsmacked if City don't win. I didn't see anything for Wolves. But yeah, there's only, after this, 2 games left. So I haven't even looked. I should look at the fixtures. But for me, it goes to the last game of the season. It might not. It still might not. Did you see Southampton beat Leeds? I put it in play. Southampton beat Leeds. Southampton ended the season with 9 draws and 11 losses, 9-11. What happened to Leeds? What happened to Leeds? They were unbelievable. Last 7 games. One of the worst teams in the league. What happened to them? And watch them go up via the playoffs. They've had an absolute nightmare end to the season. So you'd believe they've got no confidence. All right. If they win the playoffs, and have you seen Leeds are playing Norwich? Leeds' coach is Fark. He coached for Norwich. I don't think Norwich are going to go up because Ipswich went up. I don't believe 2 East Anglian teams are going to go up. So I think Leeds will knock out Norwich. I have to go deeper. I put this stuff on my website. That Mark Goldbridge is just an example of a guy who is, his life and identity is Manchester United. And is an idol worshipper. And supporting that team is actually just breaking him. Yes, it's giving him a bit of fame. But he's famous for what? For being a pathetic Manchester United fan who's a grown man. Who cares if he's rich? All right, he's doing everything God detests. Idol worship of the Red Devils. Yeah, exactly, Benjamin. That Goldbridge is an example of somebody who's worshipping Satan, and he probably doesn't know it. And Satan's just using him. Yeah, let's take advantage of this pathetic Man United fan who's a grown man who almost cries every time Man United concede. All right, almost cries when they score. Satan will use that and he'll promote this guy. Can somebody give me a woo? It don't mean that Goldbridge has given himself to Satan for a few likes on Instagram or whatever he does. Satan's caught hold of this guy, seen how weak he is. Let's promote him. Let's promote him to the world. They don't promote me because I'm strong. I'm strong. I won't get promoted by the devil. They promote weak people. Look at Hollywood. Look what's being promoted right now. Weak, lost souls. And he takes advantage of them. He devours them. It says in 1 Peter 5:8, Satan looks to devour people. That's what he's doing with that Goldbridge. So you tell me Goldbridge's rich? Not in spirit, he's not. And how long's his fame going to be for being a pathetic Man United fan? Think about it. Think how Satan uses people. Thank you for that, Benjamin. He is a prime example of somebody who works for Satan. Don't mean he attends the Church of Satan. All right? Thank you for that. Say it's passion. Yeah, passion for the wrong thing. If City lose, who will be the Steven Gerrard fall guy? I don't think there will be a fall guy. It will just be... If Arsenal win the... Again, go on my website. I said Man City, parentheses, Arsenal's incredible code, 4-1. You can take them. A lot of people did because they were no value in City. They were even money. Go on the website, read it. I ain't shocked if Arsenal win. If Arsenal win, all you're going to get is the following. They deserved it. Congratulations to Arsenal. Congratulations, Arteta. All right? There won't need to be a fall guy. All right? There won't need to be a fall guy. It'll just be all glory to Arsenal and Arteta. And Pep will say that. He'll say something along the lines of, it's never nice to lose a title, but if I could lose a title to anyone, it'd be Mikel, because they work together. But the code for City is incredible as well. I ain't one of these like, please City, please win so I've got another future. I've done 80, 90 futures. I'll have to write them all down. If Man City, like, listen to this. If Man City win the league, which I put at the beginning of the season, which, by the way, was before Israel was attacked by Hamas, which benefited Arsenal. But if City win the league, right, what credit will I get? Just have that moment to think about it. My laptop's on 7%. If Man City win the league, even though at times they've been plus money multiple times this season to win it, will I get any credit? Do I want credit? Do I want to reveal why if they win it? Yeah. Now, if Arsenal win it, I can guarantee. I don't know whose side man are. I don't know. I don't think I'll get recognition, Tom. Trust me. They'll just be Man City won. Best team in the world, best coach in the world. That's what I'm going to get. When Haaland gets Golden Boot, or if he does, best striker in the world. Same with Harry Kane. That's all I'm going to get. Part of me, I understand it. But the fact is, if Arsenal win, you'll see all my videos about Arsenal. You'll see all my codes I've done. I've coded Arsenal all season, got pretty much 90% of the games right. Go on the website, look it up. If I present why Arsenal won, you watch the people that say he changed his pick. He's trying to act like he called Arsenal. I'm right, yeah? I said Man City, parenthesis, Arsenal have an incredible code at plus 400 if you want to take them. That is exactly what I put. I ain't changing a pick. I want you guys to see why a certain team won. All right? I coded Leicester to win the league. They won it. But I wanted to show you the code more than me being right. I don't bet. All right? Real Madrid are going to win the league. Now, again, them and Barca are pretty much the same odds. All anybody's going to say is, well, it was either going to be Real or Barca. That's not true, though, is it? Atletico Madrid could have won it. You could have had a massive shot like Sevilla winning. Look what's happened with Leverkusen. Now, I had Bayern to win the Bundesliga. Wrong. A guy on my website, Sean, exceptional coder, he coded Bayer Leverkusen before the season began. People took them. Multiple people took them. I didn't. I don't bet. Not my pick, but posted on my website. I've got Bayern wrong. Do I still want to show you why Leverkusen... Have I done videos why Leverkusen have won the league? Is that so I can tell you all I coded Leverkusen? It's not, is it? It's because I care. I want to show you. I'm like, why are Leverkusen doing so well? Let me study. I showed you. It's all about the pharmaceutical industry and about war. Remarkable videos about Leverkusen. All right? Would it have been great if I called Leverkusen? Maybe more people would have been open. They would have still denied it. They would have found a way of going, yeah, but Alonso is class, isn't it? It's like, sure. They would have found something to go at me, but I got Bayern Munich wrong. Man City for the FA Cup, they're in the final. So whatever happens now, you could cover them. They're big favourites against Man United. Back-to-back FA Cups, right? City win the league or Arsenal 4-1. You could say he's covering himself. Liverpool could have won the league, couldn't they? A lot of people were taking Liverpool during the season. Okay? And if City win it, it's like, okay, best team in the world. I had City Champions League wrong. Wrong. They got knocked out by Real Madrid, who have a great riddle to win it. If Real Madrid win it, I will not say that's my future. My future was Man City. Wrong. Serie A, Inter Milan. Every man and his dog was on AC Milan. They're going to win the league. In Italy, it could have been Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, Lazio, Napoli. All right. Inter are going to win the league. I had Ivory Coast for the African Cup of Nations, host nation, 7-1. They won it. What other? Benfica got it wrong. Sporting Lisbon's going to win it. Benfica are going to come second. Again, in Portugal, you have Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, Porto. So, again, about 70% of my future. Harry Kane Golden Boot, that's going to hit. All about war. And you say, it's obvious now. Guys, did Leverkusen finally lose? I'll have to look into why. There could easily have been a Leverkusen striker, a Stuttgart striker, a Dortmund striker that won the Golden Boot, correct? There could have been. Look, do you know who's the championship top goal scorer? A Blackburn striker who were this close to getting relegated. The best striker's not always the Golden Boot winner. Okay? That's just the reality. You can't win at him, there's nothing to win. Yeah. Wait, buy a plate of more. So somebody's saying Bayer Leverkusen lost and they've not even played. This is what I have to deal with. Let me check. They're not. Why say that Bayer lost when they're playing tomorrow? This is what I mean. This is why you can't trust men. Men lie or they say stuff that they don't know. Leverkusen play tomorrow. All right, and Leverkusen, I posted a code why they could win the treble. Bayern lost 3-1. All right, Harry Kane scored. Of course he did. But yeah, this Bayern Munich just lost, yet they're in the Champions League semi-final, drawing with Real Madrid, and now they're getting spanked by Stuttgart. If you get it right, they will hate you. If you get it wrong, they will hate you. Bang on. So all of you, right before I go, Ranieri saved Leicester, then won the Premier League next season. Xabi Alonso saved Leverkusen from 17 to 6 next season, won the title. That's brilliant, Gregorian. You know, Leicester won the Premier League with 81 points, and Ranieri coached Leicester in 81 games, and Leicester City equals 81. And they won the league when Kobe retired, whose highest scoring games, 81 points. And he died in a helicopter crash like Leicester's owner. Ain't that pretty interesting? That's very good, Gregorian. Are you on my website? You should be with that mind. Xabi Alonso got fired by Real Sociedad B team and then wins the Bundesliga and might go undefeated and might win a treble. The reason I like City, because of all the back-to-back, is why I had them for the treble. But you could get a treble in Germany. So the English team won a treble last year. German team could win a treble this year. Still a back-to-back treble, just not in the same league. It's very rare that a team ever gets a treble, guys. Birmingham City got relegated. Woo, yeah, connected to Brady. Could do a video on that as well. Yeah, Leicester win the Premier League 8 years later. They returned to the Premier League. Kobe began his NBA career wearing number 8. I had Leicester win the league. The code is, I think it got 20 likes. Whatever. I hope everyone's subbed to Illusion's website. Guys, let me ask you this then right before I go. Honest answers, and you don't have to, just out of interest for me, because I can't comprehend it with the work that I do. And just be honest or don't leave a comment. I've got to go. There's 4% on my battery. Why are you not on my website? Just out of interest. What's stopping you? Is it the $10? I understand if it's finances. Is it there's something within you that I can't give $10 to somebody online? It doesn't sit right. I was a bit like that a few years ago. Before I supported people's Patreons, I was like, I ain't giving my money to some random guy in America. Why would I do that? So I'm just intrigued as to, I have a decent amount of people that support me. I'm very grateful. But I just feel like if there's 12,000 people on YouTube, 15,000 on Twitter, which I've stopped posting on, the most toxic social media platform there is, in my opinion, I question how there's not more people there. I don't believe you need to bet. Some people say, I'm not on your website, I don't bet. You don't need to bet. I recommend you don't bet. But this information, guys, is it this? Tell me this, just be straight up with me. Is it why pay for his website when he does streams every day? Giving us the information for free. I'm just trying to figure it out. Without being greedy, because you know I ain't greedy. If I were greedy, I'd still gamble. I'd charge more than $10. They want to spend it on Netflix? Yeah, maybe, but maybe. Netflix, they probably get more content, get more pleasure out of it. Yeah, almost every household has Netflix. And nobody has an issue with that. But when you support some guy's website who's not famous, they have an issue with that. People have a real issue with that. Haaland again, there you go. Golden Boot winner. Do you want me to read my city code or shall I just go? You've been on my website since the inception. Naz, I'm very grateful, bro. And yeah, I do want a disclaimer. My website isn't a sports dedicated website. All these other Patreons, and they are just sports, and they're not very good at what they do. That's just the reality. That's why they don't like me saying that. My website's not completely dedicated to sports and gambling. It's a big part of it. But see how I've incorporated Daniel being killed by a sword with Arsenal and connected it to the Bible? That's different level. That's not just saying Arsenal are going to win today. Why don't you code an underdog? Because even if I coded an underdog, you wouldn't care. And that's why I said earlier in this live stream, I'm talking about Arsenal and I'm talking about the kid getting killed with a sword and how deep it all is. And if you go back and read the beginning of the chat, all it was people talking about boxing. Because always looking ahead. And I'm not having a go at you. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but do you know what I mean? Like, okay, you've talked about the Arsenal game now. Who's winning in the City game? All right, you covered the City game. That was obvious. Who's winning the boxing tonight? And it's never ending. Do you think the Nuggets are going to beat the Wolves in game 1? It's never ending with the sports, which can benefit me because I've always got something to talk about. I've always got something to code. But it's also process this information right now about Arsenal, absorb it all, take it all in, and then think about the boxing match. Do you know what I mean? It's always on to the next. And that's why the NBA season finishes and then the MLB comes into play, and then you got the Euros and you got the hockey playoffs when the NBA playoffs are on, and it's just never ending. It just doesn't stop, which, like I said, for me, helps me at times, and other times it burns me out because people can't process it. People should still be talking about why Argentina won the World Cup with what I wrote in my book and the code I did for Argentina 18 months before it happened. People should still be talking about that. Or people should still be talking about Leicester winning the Premier League and the code for that. Now, I didn't predict Leicester win the Premier League. I didn't know there was a code. But it's just on to the next. If Arsenal win the league, they'll say, all right, do you think they'll win it next year as well? I don't know. But I'm a coder that gets money through betting. Most of gamblers that try to code. Yeah, that's true. There's been a person who bets and a person who's a gambling addict. And their life is gambling. I've been there. I did it. First time I've been addicted to anything. I don't believe most patrons are agents at all. I believe they're not very good. I believe what's happened. Let me tell you this. I've got 3%. This is my honest reflection. Is this. When you code, hear me out. Aries like to compete. Yeah, I'm an Aries. I do a fire with fire, right? When you start coding, you start comprehending the code. This is what happens. It's what happened with me. I saw Zach doing it. I saw Zach's codes. I thought I can do that with my eyes closed and I'm going to do it better than him. I started hitting code after code. And then I started saying, if Zach can make money off Patreon, so can I. That's what my mindset was. I said, I can do this better than him back in 2020. Up to you whether you believe that or not. That's your opinion. Now, once you get that mindset and you code and you get a couple right, you literally believe you've solved everything. You've cracked the code. You believe it. You convince yourself. And then you go, you know what? Why don't I try set up a Patreon? Even if I get 5 or 10 members, loads of people on my website have tried and failed. I hope they succeed, but they've tried and failed. It's really hard. Or they might code one future and think, oh my word, I can make a living out of this. Then there's no consistency at the work. There's no community on the Patreon. All right. And they start missing codes. People leave, they give up. There's so many of them. But when you get a few right, it gets to your head. Like, for example, Scripts Unveiled, they got a few right. It got to his head. Then he got what? 13 out of 15 wrong. I don't think that makes him an agent at all. I just believe he needs to look at the way that he codes. But at least he puts his work out there. I don't think if you get picks wrong, you're an agent. I don't think if you get everything right, it means you're part of the elite or you're God's gift. I'm just saying every man and his dog now who can see numbers thinks they can set up a Patreon and a website and succeed. If you actually look at people doing this, it's hardly any that succeed. Zach's still doing well. I do well. There's probably a handful of other people that do well from it. It's hard. But my work is 1,000,000 times bigger than telling you who's going to win a game. Like, my hit rate over the last 2 weeks has been brilliant again. I don't need to show you it and tell you it. And people just say favorites like with City right now and with Haaland. Oh, City win, Haaland score. Yippee dippy do. And I get it. And I'm fine with it. And I don't care anymore. But I need to go. My battery's on 2%. Again, if you're not on my website, check it out for 1 month for $10. And if you don't like it, you cancel your membership. No hard feelings. Simple. Think about what you invest in your money and your time in. And think about what you can get for $10 in this world. Just think about that. And you might say, oh, he's just trying to beg for money. I don't need to beg for money. But I'm just saying, I can't quite comprehend if you really enjoy my work, why you're not there if you have a spare $10. But only you guys know that. Right. Off I go. God bless you all. I haven't got 50 likes yet. Anybody going to ping it before I go? Peace to you in the chat. God bless you, mate. Keep it up. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. JP3RDYE. And remember, Backlash is going on in France today. Backlash, how Jesus had his back lashed before he was crucified. We know Paris is the home of the Jesuits. It's in France. It's Backlash. All coded. Idolatry in wrestling is off the charts as well. I saw Triple H coming out to a live audience and they were crying for him and screaming for him and holding up signs for him, calling him the King of Kings. I was like, oh my goodness me. Great stream, Adam. Much love. Yeah, thank you to Chad for jumping in as well. Take care. I guess I'll take the 48 likes. It ain't going to go up to 50. And I'll present a snooker code tomorrow if I have time. I know a lot of you don't know anything about snooker, but I'll show you that the code even is happening in snooker. Snooker, guys. A sport that next to nobody plays outside of the UK. It's going on in snooker. I just find that quite remarkable. I'm not going to say, oh, I call the future. I don't care. Pretty wild, man. But God bless you all. You know what? I appreciate you all. I appreciate you. Naz, I appreciate your real positive comments. Thank you. Thank you very much, mate. Right, I'm off. Take care. Have a blessed rest of your day. And God wins, guys, all day long. That's what matters, knowing that. Not who wins these leagues and championships or Grammys or Emmys or whatever. You need to know that God's already won. Be on his team, guys. Share that victory. Take care. Much love. God wins. Woo!